So in this video, we're going to talk about different shelters a little bit more in depth. So like I started out in the last video talking about, you don't even need a shelter. If the weather's nice outside, if there's not a lot of bugs out, you can just take something like a tarp or a ground sheet, put on the ground, put on top of that a sleeping bag or even just some comforters, put on top of that a sheet, put another sheet so that it goes over you and some more comforters, and you can spend the night. I've actually had some great nights just sleeping like that. It's amazing how comfortable you can be. The drawback is you're susceptible to rain, wind, you're susceptible to bugs if there's bugs out, not that there's ever bugs around in Canada, and you're susceptible to little critters coming to visit you at night. If you don't mind any of that, go for it. If you want to upgrade a little bit from there, you can take all that and just throw it on top of a picnic table. I've done that. The more luxurious sleeping on top of a picnic table is when it's in a shelter. Now, some parks don't allow that, so please follow the rules. But if it's in a shelter, you just throw all your stuff on top of the picnic table, have a sleep, roll it up the next day, and away you go. No setting up a tent. Generally, a lot of picnic shelters will have a fireplace in them, so you even have heat, you even have somewhere to cook, and a lot of them are close to bathrooms. So a lot of benefits from doing that. But in some parks, you can't do that, or they don't have a picnic shelter. So where should you go from there? Well, you can get a tarp and just make yourself a little lean-to. Pretty simple, pretty quick. A rope, put the lean-to over it, and you can sleep underneath it. Now, one little warning here, please don't cut down trees to make lean-tos. We used to do it back when I was a little kid, but there was nobody out camping like there is now. If everybody who wants to go out camping has to cut down some trees, it's just going to be a nightmare. We're not going to have any trees around to enjoy. So please, if you're at a public campground or you're close by a city or anything like that, don't cut down trees. Take a tarp with you and use that instead. From the tarp, you can get into a tent. Obviously, the tents have a lot of benefits. A tent, you can get a small tent which sleeps one person. You can get a large tent where you can stand up and have multiple people in multiple rooms. You can have with vestibules where you can leave your shoes and stuff in. You can have a cooking area, eating area on the tent. We'll talk about that in a second. You can have multiple rooms, so you can have an indoor porta potty in one room. You can get so much stuff with a tent. Your only restrictions on a tent are how much money you have to spend, because some of the big ones can cost a lot of money. Now, I just mentioned about cooking inside the tent. It always freaks me out when I see a commercial advertising a tent where people are eating inside their tent. I do not recommend that. Even if you're not in bear country today, you may be in a couple days or a week or a month, and smells linger. So my rules are for my tents, and my kids know this all too well, is no food in the tent whatsoever. I don't care if they're chips. I don't care if it's popcorn. I don't care if it's a chocolate bar. All the food stays in our vehicle, and that's where the food stays. Never do we eat in a tent. So I don't recommend eating in a tent, even for the ones that advertise, oh, look, there's a screened off area next to it where you can eat. Don't eat in your tent. That was just a little bunny trail and one of my pet peeves. But tents can be amazing. I've seen some really cool tents out there. I have a tent that I've had for a number of years, picked it up at a year-end clearance. I think it was Superstore. And it was $29. And this tent has lasted us and has gone so many places. Now, it's not a light backpacking tent. It is a good-sized tent that 2, possibly even 3 people can sleep in if you want to be tight. But it's really good. And for the money, it's wonderful. I have seen 3- and 4-room tents that they're like houses. They're just amazing. So you can go wherever you want in there. But be careful. If you haven't camped in a tent before, I would strongly recommend that you borrow a tent from a friend or a neighbor, or even if you have to rent one. Set it up in a backyard or a nearby park. Climb into it. See what you think. If you're nervous during the daytime, chances are you're going to be nervous sleeping in it at nighttime. So I would not recommend that you go out and buy a tent and try it for the first time, because it's probably going to be a shock to your system and you may not even like it. So first of all, try it out. Try it during the daytime. Sleep in it at night in your backyard or in a friend's backyard. See what you think of it. If you really like it, go for it. If you don't like it, move on to something different. So until next time, have yourself a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now. Thank you for watching my video. If you like this video, please click on the like button, which is the thumbs up button. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button and then click on the bell next to the subscribe button so you'll be notified when any new videos are uploaded. Thank you and have a great day.